Okay, welcome to the demo of our Bridgeport Milling machine. This one's got a variable speed head, it's got a 42-inch table, and it's got a 3-axis DRO system fitted. It's had a full strip down service, a full rebuild, so I had a regrind to the X, Y and Z axes, all new lead screws and nuts as well, of course. So I'm going to do you like a virtual video demo now, so have a look at that, and then when you're happy, please obviously come down and see it for yourself in real life. If you fancy, press and subscribe, that'll be also wonderful. And okay, here we go. So brand new lead screw, brand new nut in there, almost no backlash at all, it's absolutely beautiful all the way across, really smooth. I'll test the power feed in a sec. Same with the Y. Almost no backlash at all, really nice. Should be able to see it moving on the DRO screen up there. It's really smooth all the way across. As I say, it's all been reground. The gibs have been re-tersited and scraped back in, so it's absolutely beautiful. Same with the knee, with the column. We replaced the bearing in the knee and the lead screw and the nut as well, of course. And lovely and smooth. Really nice. We've serviced all the locks, so all the locks working perfectly. All the lube systems all been replaced, so brand new lube pipe, brand new metering units, pumps all been serviced, that's working great. The knee handles brand new, it's a nice chrome one, you don't normally get those, but we get them specially for you to make it look really nice. Power feed, it's an Align CE500PX, it's the highest power one you can get. It comes with a 1-year warranty, it's brand new. So it's variable speed, you can vary it down to almost nothing, that's about the slowest. You should be able to see it's still moving on the X-axis on the DRO there. And it'll go all the way up to pretty much rapid, and you can rapid override with the button at the top as well. And as you take your finger off, I'll just check that's tight, it'll go back to feed now. And then when it hits the switch in the middle, it will turn off automatically, but this isn't just quite tight enough at the moment. You can move these up and down to wherever you need them to be, whatever the job happens to be. And there's also just, you'll notice that stops there. That's because there's a hidden stop under here. So just don't take that out and don't take those off, and you'll be absolutely fine. It's to save the scale on the back of the table there. Okay, so moving on, there's an LED light fitted. And that is IP65 sealed, so there's a rubber button on the bottom that operates the light on and off. Really nice LED lights, especially for the winter nights, as we've got at the moment. Okay, so moving on, we're going to test the variable speed head and then the Quill. Okay, so we're running around 1200 RPM at the moment. And you hear how quiet that is. On your bearings, belts, there's all sorts of pulleys replaced, and a lot of man hours on each one of these heads. Okay, so that's running beautiful at 1200. I'll go all the way up. There's 2000, then all the way up to 3000. Don't go on into the red area, of course. Coming all the way back down then. And that's 500 RPM, lovely and quiet. Okay, in reverse now. Just as quiet in reverse. Again, 500. There's 1000. There's 1600. 2000. And all the way up to 3000. Absolutely beautiful. Right, I'll just hit the brake just to show you it does work. Obviously the brake's only really there for taking the drawbar out, it's not for stopping the spindle. Slows down just fast enough on its own. So I'm just going to move this handle out of the way, and this is a multi-position handle, so even though the Quill could be locked, you can move the handle wherever you want it to be and it just locks back in for you. It's really nice. Okay, so high to low now, push the handle in, turn around, you might have to turn the spindle just to get it to lock in, make sure it's locked in. And again, turn the motor on. So now we're running at 130 RPM. So we'll go all the way up to the top. And that's 300. Back down to 120. There's 120. And then to 60 RPM. Reverse. 60, There's 120, 180, all the way to 300. Absolutely fine, running great. Okay, and then swapping back from low to high now. Push the handle in. I go back to the neutral position. There's neutral there, and then back into high. Okay, fire it up, and we're going to test the quill now. So the quill here, if you're not using the quill for any length of time, just turn it on disengage. It's on engage at the moment, but otherwise you just wear it out needlessly, you know. Okay, so engaging the quill. Now, just quirk of Bridgeport is you don't want to engage the quill if the stop's all the way at the top or all the way at the bottom. You could damage it if you do that, so just make sure any apprentices are aware of that, not to do it, you know. Okay, so engaging the quill now, and you see it feeds down, you see the handle moving. So it's in the highest feed at the moment, so every spindle speed you've got 3 different feeds. That's the highest, that's the slowest, and at the bottom that's the medium there. So they're all working, as you can see. It's a bit of a two-handed operation, that one. Okay, back to the highest, just so it doesn't take too long on the camera. There we go. Right, okay, I'm going to reverse it now. So to reverse it, I just pulled this forward and reverse knob out. And that feeds out, reverses just fine, and it's feeding up great. I'm going to change it again to show you it does change fine as well. Okay, so I'll reverse the feed again by pushing the feed reverse handle in. Sometimes that takes a bit of tinkering to get in, but it's the same with all of them. It's just quite a big dog gear there. You just got to play with it until it goes in. So there's only like 4 prongs to it, you know. Okay, so feeds down just fine. I'll just let it come all the way down again. I noticed the lock was slightly on the first feed. It's a brand new coolant tray as well. That's a steel coolant tray, so if you do drop something, it's not going to crack it, it will just bounce off. And also we fitted this brand new Technopui guarding system as well. It's a really nice guarding system. So that's all interlocked to the machine. And again, just remember to come off the stop before you engage, and then reverse, and we go back up again. The same on the top. Don't be all the way at the top, just come off a little bit before you engage. It's just the way the whole mechanism has to lift to engage, to release the clutch, to engage the clutch. Okay, so that's running good. Right, now let's lock the quill up the top, just to show you a lock. Okay, so traverse the quill all the way to the top, and we put the lock on, and there you go, the quill locks really nicely. I can also show you the guard. You can move this guard wherever the job needs to be, so you can move it, you know, whatever the job happens to be. Okay, so to power it up on the head, power it up on the feed. Now it'll shut down if you open it like this, or if you move the arm all the way out like that. It's got a twin interlock system, so as you open it now, it shuts the whole thing down. It's all interlocked and all nice and safe. Okay, so turn it back on again. So just turn it off on the head, turn the power feed off, then press the green button at the bottom, and away you go again. You're all good to go. So that's all working absolutely great. It's a 2-year warranty, of course, on the digital readout system. Yeah, it's a beautiful machine. Thanks for watching, and yeah, please press subscribe if you can. Thanks a lot.